What type of a woman are you? Did you ever sit down to analyze yourself and perhaps see things that you might be much better at? Are you a woman that embraces her best self inside and out? Do you feel good in your skin? And do you give a high regard to your well-being and your happiness? Are you a type of woman that thinks it's selfish to love yourself? Are you the type of woman that feels bad about putting yourself first? Did you ever think about things like that? Do you give yourself the same love and the care that you give to other people? Do you feel worthy to be loved and to be respected? Or are you the type of woman that just settles for anything because you might think that you don't deserve? Are you perhaps afraid to walk away from toxic people in your life, or perhaps situations or relationships? Are you celebrating the woman that you are today? How about your femininity? Are you embracing the unique feminine that you are? Or are you living your life and waiting for male validation? Do you know how to present yourself and express your views about things and to take a stand for what you believe in? Have you allowed time for yourself to perhaps give yourself self-care and healing? Have you spent time in silence? Have you spent time being alone and loving being alone? Have you allowed yourself to relax? How about being able to express yourself? Do you have a strong sense of self-worth? So how is it the way that you're talking? How are you walking? How are you dressing? How are you treating yourself? Do you care about people's opinions? Do you always have to stand up for yourself and give excuses to people? Are you grounded? Are you aware of what you're worth? Are you even worth something? Are you seeking approval and to be validated by people, from a man or perhaps friends or perhaps family? Have people in your life been demanding things from you? Have they been dictating you how to live your life? Are you waiting for somebody else's approval in order to receive worth for yourself? How do you feel about your confidence? Are you embracing the relationship that you have with your body and taking the time to connect with it? Are you embracing and respecting your sexuality? Do you have radiance and magnetic energy? Are people drawn to you? Are you enjoying sex? Are you passionate? Are you an intimate person? Do you indulge in daily pleasures that make you feel good? Or are you worrying about your age? Are you passionate about everything that you do? Do you love yourself and do you enjoy your independence? What about your choice of partners? Do you choose a partner that accepts you and respects you for your authentic self? Are you able to express yourself fully and authentically? Do you understand what your desires are? Do you believe that you are worthy of having those desires? Are you capable of taking care of yourself? And will you accept that a man can also take care of you too? Do you have a strong sense of self and feminine energy that can lead you to be more successful in life, work, and even relationships? Are you happy on your own? Or are you waiting for a man or a friend or anything else to complete you? Whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single, are you finding your own happiness? Or are you desperate and chasing after men, thinking that they're going to make you happy? If you're single, do you use your time as a chance to connect with yourself? Are you reflecting back on your mistakes? Perhaps the experiences that you've been through? Are you open to new experiences? Do you feel complete within yourself? Are you content within yourself? Do you have positive energy and confidence to attract people that want to be around you? Just because you might want to have a partner, you need to remember, is it one that's going to compliment you? Is it going to be a healthy one? Will that relationship help you healthily express love? What about your sense of humor? How serious are you? What's your level of seriousness? Do you have any humor? Are you playful? Are you fun? How are you living your life? Are you living your life to the fullest? Do you know how to lighten up and not take everything too seriously? What type of a personality are you? Can you interact freely with other people and see the fun side of situations? Can you crack light jokes and isn't afraid to laugh as loud as she can? What about your self-esteem? Do you radiate confidence as a sense of self-worth comes from within? Self-esteem, it's not only derived from the social or relationship status, nor through your success, nor through your materialistic possessions. How do you handle criticism? Do you know that criticism is a chance to grow and to improve yourself? Does your confidence outweigh all the insecurities and negativities projected upon you by others? Do you believe in your abilities and that you are an intelligent person? Do you constantly live in doubt and uncertainty? Regardless of how life may have been for you, do you recognize that there's a reason why you've been through things? To teach you things? Are you able to take all those lessons with you? Can you value that and give yourself value for what you have endured? Are you a self-sufficient person? Do you know that you might be responsible for your own well-being and happiness? Do you trust your intuition? Do you trust that it can guide you through your life? Are you giving priority to yourself, to what it is that you want? Whether that be emotionally, financially, and even mentally. Can you provide for yourself without expecting other people to provide for you? Or are you demanding from other people? Or are you relying on other people all the time? Did you ever think about the future? What is the ideal future for yourself? Are you taking pride and faith in your abilities about your future? Do you recognize that having a relationship with a man is a great addition to your life, but it's not really a necessity? A partner could be just a way to share an already fulfilling life with a person who can value your individuality and your independence. Do you have a life? Do you keep yourself occupied? Do you have any dreams? Do you have any ambitions? Do you know what you want? And if you do know what you want, are you working hard to achieve what you want? Are you waiting for somebody to take over your world? Are you desperately going out your way to please everybody out there? Are you trying to fit into other people's cups because it might make you lose sight of who you truly are? Do you recognize that you're a prize? Are you always trying too hard to be liked because perhaps people might have a different perspective of you, or perhaps people can judge you? Did you ever think about focusing on things that can make you happy, like spending time with people that you care about, or even taking care of yourself? What about your standards? Are you a type of woman that settles? Are you a type of woman that settles for less than what you deserve? Do the people meet your standards? Do the people respect your boundaries? What type of traits do you have as a woman? Are you prioritizing your needs? Are you truly showing love to yourself? Sure, you might be compromising with other people when needed, but just make sure it doesn't cause you to drop your standards or even neglect yourself altogether. It should not also make you lose sight of what you deserve. Never let anybody trample over your abilities and worth, because you should know yourself better than anybody else out there, and you should not be swayed by people's judgments. You have an assertive personality, and no one should be overstepping that or even attempt to do that. Are you a kind woman? Do you have a real beauty that is radiating from within you? Do you know how to treat people with respect? Do you live with compassion and kindness and understand the power that these virtues hold? And this can be shown on how you treat people. What's the level of your heart? Do you sympathize with other people? Do you value helping other people? Are you afraid to show people that you genuinely care about them? Are you supportive to your family? Are you supportive to your friends? Or perhaps even strangers that you encounter throughout your day? Are you also extending that kindness to yourself? What's your emotional stability like? How are you handling your emotions? Are they stable? How often do you get mood swings? How often do you cry? How often do you get angry? How often do you get frustrated? How are you dealing with all of these emotions? Do you allow them to come to the surface? Do you analyze them? Do you know what to do about them? How to deal with them? Do you know what they could mean? Can you feel those emotions? Can you acknowledge those emotions without letting them overrule your life? Are you emotionally strong and stable? Are you able to change your perspective on situations? Are you in control of your thoughts? Do you listen to your emotions, or are you suppressing your emotions? Do you take a step back and take a deep breath before proceeding with things? Are you looking after yourself? Are you moving forward with your life? How are you taking care of difficulties in your life? Are you finding solutions in your life? Are you being productive throughout your life, throughout your day? How are you engaging in lies and drama? How are you dealing with stress and feelings that are unpleasant for you? How are you tolerating toxic people? How are you tolerating narcissistic people? How are you dealing with people and situations around your life that bring you negativity? How are you dealing with your nervousness about perhaps being strong and intimidating to other people? Do you have a healthy self-love? Do you really know your worth? Are you thriving in relationships or being deprived? Do you understand that relationships have to be based on mutual trust, mutual honesty, mutual respect, and mutual loyalty? Do you have all of these traits before requiring them from other people? Are you a person that has high morals and integrity? How are you respecting other people's boundaries? Are people doing that for you too? Can you stand up for yourself and move on from someone that has caused you a lot of pain and dishonesty? Are you a strong person or are you a weak person? Are you going to learn from that, or are you going to reminisce about that? How are you going to deal with a situation where it doesn't give you closure? Are you going to hold on to that, or are you going to release that and give your own end for things? How about giving your own closure? Are you strong enough to give your own closure to things that happen in your life? Or are you still waiting for answers? Are you committed to personal development? Are you the best version of yourself? Or is there room for more? Every day is a chance for you to grow and learn. Do you genuinely have passion to pursue your interests and goals in your life? Do you choose to read, to listen to podcasts perhaps, enjoy some art, go outside in the world, take a walk at a park? Are you a well-rounded person? Did your experiences in your life strengthen you or weaken you? Are you intellectually stable? Are you emotionally stable? Are you spiritually stable? All of these people that you have met in your life, do you think it's just a coincidence? Do you understand that all of these people, whether good or bad, do you value why these people came onto your journey? Do you believe that you could have learned something from these people? Are you staying stuck in situations no matter what their circumstances may have been? Are you persisting? Are you giving yourself the time and the effort and the energy to achieve what you desire? How are you facing adversities? Are you determined? Do you have a can-do attitude? Or are you just giving up quickly? Are you able to deal with problems and seek out solutions to solve those problems? Or are you constantly nagging about the problems and putting responsibility onto other people? Is it easy for you to walk away from situations that aren't working for you? Do you know when to call it quits? Or are you persisting and giving more than yourself to make things work out on difficult situations? How are your boundaries? Are you giving emotionally boundaries out there? Whether that be mentally, emotionally, physically. You understand what it is that healthy boundaries are? Do you understand that? Or do you allow people to cross your boundaries? Are you making people know what your boundaries are? If somebody disrespects you, even if that person has a high authority, are you willing to take a stand and demand that your boundary is being respected? Are you giving other people the respect that they deserve? Right now, how aware are you of your thoughts, of your words, and your behavior? Even though you can speak your mind, are you able to say things with tact and understand how it might make another person feel? Are you able to communicate generally and have respect for perhaps people having different ideas and feelings that are different to yours? Are you truly accepting people for who they are? Or are you constantly trying to change other people? Do you care about other people the way that you would care about yourself? Do you generally have a concern and help people when you can? Or are you turning your back on people? Do you know how to manage expectations? What about when there's overwhelming expectations and things don't work out for you? Can you free yourself from that disappointment? Or do you take it too hard or too personally? Or are you a person that will continue going with an open mind? Can you manage with all of the challenges and the roadblocks that life gives you? And if it doesn't go planned, can you deal with that? Can you deal with being faced with unexpected moments of life? Do you have class for yourself? How do you carry yourself? Do you have dignity? Are you holding yourself with grace? Are you able to see the beauty inside of you, whether that be inside or out? Do you know your uniqueness? Do you know your femininity? Are you a charming person? Are you a graceful person? Do you feel comfortable in your beauty, in your wisdom and your skills? Or do you constantly feel that you need to compete for love, or perhaps want to compete with other women? Do you believe that other women out there are beautiful and they are also special in their own way? Are you there trying to please people? Or are you trying to get attention from other people? How are you taking care of yourself? Because do you find that selfish? Are you feeling guilty about giving yourself the me time? Are you neglecting yourself? Are you prioritizing your well-being? How are you eating? Are you eating healthy? Are you doing what you enjoy doing? Are you pampering yourself? Are you resting? What about vulnerability? Do you think that being vulnerable is a weakness? Or you might think that it's needy? Vulnerability is about showing your authentic self. It's about being brave when it comes to your emotions, and it's a way of being transparent. By being vulnerable, you do not need to let the fears control you or any of the choices and the decisions that you may make. Are you bold enough to take risks and handle disappointments when people fail you? Do you see vulnerability as a sign of strength? Do you find it powerful yet gentle in the most beautiful way? Can you genuinely love and connect with other people? Do you have empathy? Do you feel a belonging? Do you feel joy in your life? Do you have courage in your life? Are you creative in your life? Can you express yourself? Or are you afraid to speak your mind? Are you comfortable and confident in how your thoughts are, how your feelings are? How do you deal when people don't agree with you or don't like what you have to say? Are you going to hold yourself back? Can you communicate your beliefs and your ideas with people? Can you express yourself through music? Can you express yourself perhaps through poetry, perhaps through dancing, perhaps through painting? Do you know how to communicate in different avenues? Are you afraid to voice out your wants and needs? Do you understand that your wants and needs are important as everybody else's? Are you bold? Are you courageous? Are you an honest woman? What about your egoistic side? Do you admit when you make mistakes? Are you mature? Do you know what your strengths are? Do you know what your weaknesses are? Do you know what your potentials are? But do you also know what your limitations are? Do you enjoy manipulating? Do you enjoy playing games? Do you enjoy indulging yourself in drama to get your way? Do you do those things? Do you feel that you're not worthy enough? And you need to do all these things in order to prove to people? Are you a type of person that somebody can look up to? Do you have the patience of waiting? Do you know how to cope with unexpected changes? Can you be honest about yourself and your feelings? Can you own your mistakes and work on your mistakes? Can you take responsibility for your actions and your behaviors? Can you be accountable for that? Can you be accountable for that? Do you possess humility? Are you grateful about everything in your life right now? Are you wise beyond your years? Do you have strong convictions? Can you stand up to what is morally upright? Do you choose to remain loyal as you don't trade your integrity and self-respect for a man's love or anything else? Do you continue to do the right thing regardless of what the circumstances are and even when no one is watching? Do you cultivate integrity? Integrity, it's a trait that you can develop and preserve. Are you a selfless person? Do you live by the values that you believe in? Are you thinking and analyzing the choices and the decisions you have made into your life right now? Do you have the humbleness? Can you own up to mistakes? How about promises? How are you keeping your promises? How are you remaining true to your words? Are you chasing men? Or are you allowing the energy to pursue you? Do you believe that men were born hunters? Do you believe that if a man loves and cares for the woman in their life, that they're capable of doing everything for happiness? Do you have your self-respect? Do you see yourself worthy of being pursued? But are you playing hard to get? How are you playing in that? Do you appreciate a man's time and effort? Do you understand? And are you accepting that you don't have to make everyone like you? Do you understand if a person walks out of your life, you can allow that person to do so? Can you accept that? And do you respect that? And do you know why that happens? What about you? Do you have a strong sense of value on what you have inside of you? Do you brighten people up when you're in contact with them? Can you smile at strangers and people that you interact with? Are people intrigued by your wonderful personality? Do you attract people with your personality and positive energy? Do people feel safe and comfortable in your presence? Do you have an admirable presence that make the world and those around you more bright? Do you have a clear purpose in life? Are you devoted? Are you focused? What do you plan? How do you prepare? How do you fulfill your dreams? Are you giving your life meaning and fulfillment? Do you understand that you have the control in your life? Do you understand that you're in control of your story? Do you understand why it's important to set goals? And do you know how to take those steps to achieve those goals? Do you know that even things can change all the time? You are able to remain focused and go and listen to your heart? Do you know that everybody has a purpose? Do you know your lifelong journey? Do you know that it could be bigger than you think? What is your purpose in life? Do you know that one of the purpose in life comes down to one thing? To make yourself happy? So, no matter what one's purpose is, are you letting it drive you toward creating the impact you're born to make? Are you giving a high regard to yourself while honoring those people around you? Do you allow people who value you and respect you? Are you owning your value and knowing your worth? Do you believe in yourself? Are you embracing of yourself? Are you valuing as you are this current moment? Are you worthy of that love and respect? Do you understand that you are a complete person just by being on your own? And above all, do you understand that you need to love and value yourself no matter what?